What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing and turning on your bell notifications if you're into some DIY car content. So here's what we've got on the agenda for today's video. As you can see behind me, we have our 2001 BMW 330i. This is a group project car between me and two other buddies. So this is a 2001. It's got almost 200,000 miles on it. It's 19 years old and it's got little problems here and there that we need to take care of first. One of them being the taillights. So the driver's side over here actually has a crack in it, and the passenger side has kind of intermittent blinking problems with the turn signals, so I think something's wrong there. But huge shout out to my sponsors over at Unique Style Racing. They have sent over a couple different lighting products for us to install on the E46, so let's get on with the video. All right, if you guys are not familiar with Unique Style Racing, definitely go check them out on Instagram. They offer premium aftermarket automotive lighting for not only the E46 but also for other cars as well. So they've already been a sponsor on the Accelerated Motion YouTube channel and have provided several different products between my E92 M3 as well as my F30 335i. So huge shout out to them. Also be sure to go check them out at uniquestyleracing.com. All right, so as you can see, this is what the current taillights look like. These are still the stock OEM ones. As you can see, it's a little bit dim. So these are dual filament bulbs, I believe, and so this side's much dimmer than this side. Turn signals still seem to work, but when driving down the road, we do have some intermittent blinking, so not exactly sure what's wrong with that stuff, but either way, we do need to swap this out. As you can see, it's cracked here, and they just don't look very good. I hate the orange, so we're going to be swapping it out with something much cooler. Before we go ahead and start uninstalling the OEM taillights, I figured I'd show you guys the new ones from Unique Style Racing. As you can see, they're a little bit smoked out, so it's more of like a dark cherry red. And then obviously the reverse portion is kind of a smoked out tinted version. So I think it's going to look really nice. Super nice packaging. It all came in this one big box. So this is the outer taillight and this is the inner. And then if you flip them over, let's see what the back side looks like. And this should be a plug-and-play solution. So let's get on with the install. After you pop open the trunk is to come over here. We're going to start here on the driver's side. As you can see, there's a light here. There is actually a small tab right behind the light, which I'll show you once we get this off. But a small tab that you need to push, and it'll pop the whole back side of the taillight out. So that's the back side of the taillight. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this plug and unplug it. There's a small little tab here that you need to push down, just like that, and then grab it and pull out. And it's just the one connection. So again, on the other side, which you couldn't see before because of the light, you can see here there's this little plastic tab. So this is what you need to basically push in, and it'll release this entire backing of the taillight. Okay, so to remove the taillight itself, we actually need to remove three 10mm screws, I believe. So I'm going to show you guys on the new one here. If you flip this over, you can kind of see. So there's one up here on the top, one down here on the bottom, and then one over here on this side as well. So it's going to be the exact same spots on the existing taillight. So I think we're going to have to go ahead and remove this portion of the trunk liner. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, I went ahead and removed two of these little retaining clips here for the interior panel there. So these are just basically compression clips that go right into the felt lining there. And so what I wanted to do, I didn't want to take this whole piece off just because it's a little bit too much work, a little bit cumbersome, so it's easier for me to just pull this back and access the screws. So I did remove one here and then one up there just to kind of give myself a little bit of wiggle room and enable me to kind of pull this back and to reach the the three screws. So as you can see, there's one here up top here, and then there's one down in there, and actually you can pop this little tab off here and access that. So we can get to that one, and then by pulling back this carpet, we can access the third one. All right, so this is a 10mm nut right here, and it's connected to this little plastic piece. So just wanted to show you guys that. We're gonna bring a light in here and show you. So go ahead and screw that all the way. Okay, so that's what that looks like. It's got a built-in nut on it. So that's how you remove the top one. And then down here, so like I was saying, there's this little access door here we can actually pop off. That's just compression fitted in here. So when you pop that out, you can see there's three little clips that hold it in. Just little compression clips. And then when you pull it out, you can actually see inside the hole. Hopefully you guys can see that. Right there. Right where that screw is. I went ahead and got that nut off there on the bottom one here, so you might want to use a long extension. That'll be a little bit easier. And then finally the third one, if you pull back the carpet here, you can actually see deep down in here, right where my finger's pointing right there, there is the third and final nut. So at this point I've got that third and final nut off, and we can just go ahead and push this out. It's probably never been removed before, so it does have this weather gasket all the way around the edge there. As you can see, it's kind of coming off, but that's what it should look like. So 1, 2, 3. So here's a side by side of the two. Again, this is the driver's side outer tail. All right, so I did a quick wipe down since these taillights have never been off. You can see how dirty all this is back here. So went ahead and wiped all this down, and we can go ahead and reinstall the new taillight. So just go ahead and plug and play. Make sure your wiring harness feeds through here. And then additionally, we're going to be using 2 of the 3 screws. So they actually give us a new one of these. And then you want to make sure your little weather seal is up in here. Okay, we can go ahead and put this through. Line up your holes. Get it in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these screws and just pop it in here to hold it in place. Okay, so I did a quick test with the lights on, and they do work. And as you can see, the trunk light here on the back side also works. But unfortunately, the way this thing is shaped, and since it's got LEDs, it's got these additional little pods here that hold all the wiring and all that. Unfortunately, that does not allow us to put this rear piece back on. So unfortunately, it's gonna have to look like that, but it's a trunk, so no big deal. But that's the outer. So now we can work on the inner tail light up here on the trunk. Okay, so moving on to the inner tail light on the trunk here, what we need to do is remove this whole liner here. So we've got all these clips that go all the way around here, and then I think that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver just to get this started. There we go. So it's one of those compression clips again. So remove all of those. Right now we've got all 8 of those compression screws out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all of those compression clips. These suck to get out, by the way. Once we have those out, we can actually just pull this down. We don't need to remove this whole thing. We just need to have access to the tail light right here. So that's that. So right here, all we need to do now is go ahead and unplug this right here. It's a plug. And I'm basically just going to unplug this small little clip here. Need to push in just like the lower one. Push in and pull out. There we go, just like that. All right, and then same thing with the bottom one here. There's a clip here, so we just need to push this forward, and then it'll pop out. And then we have let's see, we have another 10mm right here that we need to remove. This will come all the way out. Another plastic piece like the bottom one. And I think that's all that's holding this in. So, yep, if we just push it, it'll pop up and out. All right, so if you push it here on one side, it should come up. Just be mindful of this plastic lip right there. It might be a little bit hard to get off because it's been here for a while. Okay, yeah, that was very tight on there with all the dirt. So you'll see these little plastic lips here that actually hug over this metal part of the trunk. So that's what is holding on, and we can get rid of this. comparison of the new one and the old one. As you can see, this one's all cracked. So I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this thing. So again, be mindful of the little lips here. Go in this way first, and then push it in. So you wanna make sure this hooks. There we go. All right, so that'll sit in just like that. And from the bottom side, we can go ahead and put our screw back in, and it'll suck it down. I'm gonna put this up here. This plastic piece has the same little ridges on there, like the bottom one. So it'll push against the metal part of the trunk and secure it. Take our 10mm screw. Alright, that's that. Just in case you guys didn't see that or had some problems seeing that. So this is the plastic piece here that screws into the actual new taillight, and then it compression fits way up in there against the actual metal in the trunk, so then it sucks it down from the top and makes it flush and flat. So that's the only screw that holds this taillight on. So at this point now we can go ahead and put our backing back on. So this thing just plugs right back up the way it was before until it snaps into place. Okay, so once you've got the backing of the taillight back on and it clips into place, you can go ahead and plug this back in. It should snap right in. There we go, and this side is now done. Okay, so before we button everything up in the trunk, we're going to go ahead and test this thing. Alright guys, so here's the new tails. As you can see, everything works. Turn the lights off here. So as you can see, the turn signals here are actually lower on this as opposed to the old one there. So, and since these are tinted, obviously they look a little bit darker, but these are pretty hazy, the old ones here. So it's pretty good. Alright guys, so that's pretty much a rundown of how to do the driver's side. The passenger side should be the exact same process. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back to you guys. Alright guys, so that just about does it for the install. Super simple, plug and play, and everything looks pretty good if you ask me. So huge shout out to the guys over at Unique Style Racing for sending this over. We do have some more modifications coming for this car, so stay tuned for those. But I will throw in some pictures here at the end here just so you can take a look at it. Different types of light. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know. Otherwise, we will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching.